Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Asteroid Redirect Mission, Episode 7. In this episode, we're going to try something very crazy. Now, most of the time in this series, I start out in interplanetary space en route to the asteroid. But today I'm going to start off from the launch pad. This is the ARM Heavy vehicle with the launch stage. We're going to try something a little bit crazy today. We have a Class D asteroid coming in, going this way. Looks like I have to time warp a little bit to get this on point. But so we're gonna have to put ourselves in a polar orbit going south instead of north. Usually I go north. Not that big of a deal, but this is a Class D, so should be fun to redirect. Hopefully we can, if we even meet up with it and get into an orbit. It's going to be a challenge to get its inclination, similar to our other asteroids that we've captured. But let's try this, and I will see you in Kerbin orbit. That's not good. We have had an anomaly. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It looks like the boosters collided with each other. But the rocket seems to be perfectly fine, so we will continue with this mission. And hopefully we'll get into a good orbit. And by the way, this is not a very good. That was not an efficient launch whatsoever. That was actually kind of embarrassing, but I had to cancel out some of that inclination. And we're still not perfect. And 13 degrees off, not so bad. We can correct that pretty easily. Once we're in orbit, though. Right now, this is the coast to apoapsis phase, where we coast to apoapsis. And should have enough delta V to get into orbit. Should. Alrighty, we have second stage separation. And we have corrected some inclination, but not much. Looks like this is not the best plan here. Let's go ahead and deploy the fairing. Very spectacular. Let's turn off RCS for now. Looking good on time to apoapsis. My throttle down. Alrighty, we are in an orbit, in it's circular enough, you know. Doesn't need to be super precise. And what I'm going to do here is just get our relative inclination a little bit better. And looks like something's happening there. The Kerbin app-lapses number is getting in the way. Let's just try this, and this will put us in a pretty good relative inclination. And it's a very short burn with very little delta V requirement. Let's see if we can deploy the solar panels. Alright, good. I remember the action group to deploy them. Now all we need is a little bit of sunlight. Alrighty, we are getting ready to do this burn. In about 3 seconds. Alright, I'm going to take it manually from here now. Let's wait a little bit. Let's wait until we get to the descending node to make any further burns. Alrighty. Maybe just a little bit more accurate, eh? Oh. We have second stage burnout. Now we are past the descending node. It's not spectacularly good, but not bad. There's Bob. I left him up on one of the mountains. This is also the save I kind of mess around with. This is my only stock 105 install. Alright, looks good. Inclination is decent. Now we just have to figure out how to intercept this thing. I'm thinking we're going to have to wait a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a few days. It's only in Kerbin SOI for 30 days. So what I'll do is I will quick save, and if I miss it, I'll revert to that save. But I'm going to try to get it so I can meet up with it before periapsis, so we can get into an orbit with as little delta V as it takes. Alrighty, this asteroid VHK 124 is a little bit closer, and I will try to plot to meet up with it. This might take a lot of delta V, but I'm sure it'll take less than meeting up with it in interplanetary space. And we're getting a halfway decent approach there. Looks like. Maybe not. Yeah, this is going to take some finicking. Alrighty guys, I am back, and I think I got a good approach here. Looks like we're gonna have to do an orbit, after the maneuver, one orbit, and then I should come within about 6 kilometers after that first orbit, if the computer's calculations are correct. which we all know that these maneuver nodes don't actually work sometimes, and of course there is human error with the whole burn time thing, and it's not even giving me a burn time, which is really annoying. But I'm just going to estimate. They really need to fix that. That's one of the bugs that they should fix, is the not any estimated burn time, because I'm pretty sure there's a burn time with an 800 meter per second burn on a Poodle engine. But anyway, that's in 8 minutes, so we're going to time warp to about a minute out and then see how long it would take us. By basically throttling all the way up at about a minute and then seeing how long it'll estimate then. Oh, we overshot it, didn't we? Yeah, it's gonna take 2 minutes, so we're going to undershoot the burn. Hopefully we can correct it. I don't know. So I don't think we're gonna get our 6 kilometer separation, and also we need to match speed with it, which is not going to be a light burn either. So this might be a bad idea altogether, but that's why I quick save, just in case. Well, it might not be that bad. We'll see if we met the asteroid at apoapsis, it wouldn't be as bad, but we're meeting it past apoapsis, and we have to match this orbit. So it might be pretty terrible. Looks like we used up a good amount of the fuel in this stage, so it's not looking spectacular right now. And looks like we ran out of fuel in that stage and random explosion. Nah, this is not looking good at all. I wish I had maneuver node editor with MechJub, but this is stock. And I don't think we will have enough Delta V. And yeah, see, our separation is... Oh, looks like I overburned it a little bit. Let's use an RCS thrust to get that. That's pretty close. Alright. Let's leave it there. We have to wait for an orbit. So that's in 1 day. So let's warp over there. Okay, never mind. Doesn't look like we have to wait for an orbit. We're just gonna have to do it now. And our target relative velocity is only 600 meters per second. Wow, that's not bad. So let's point toward the relative velocity vector. It's probably going to be more as we get closer to it, yeah. Distance, 1 million meters. Probably start slowing down about 100 kilometers out. The question is whether or not we'll have enough Delta V to capture it. Looks like we might. Never know. Okay, now that we've cut our relative velocity in half, we can do this number and time warp to closest approach. No, again, this is our first Class D asteroid. So this will be fun. Plenty of RCS left. Probably a good idea to start burning now. And it's freaking out. Alrighty, looks good. Now we just have to point toward the target and burn toward it. And it shouldn't take much at all to capture this thing, because it's already on a very orbit-like trajectory, for lack of a better term. And there it is. VHK-124, Class D. Looks pretty good. And this did not take, you know, a couple years to go out into interplanetary space and to rendezvous with it. It took 8 days. So this is pretty convenient. Should probably slow down so we don't crash into it. This one looks more like a potato, kind of oblong shape. Let's go ahead and target center of mass. Let's have it point at the target. $200 meters away, or now 200 meters. Okay. Let's slow down. And let's take a screenshot for the thumbnail. Oh yeah, that'll be beautiful with the Earth in the background. Yeah. Beautiful. Let's fine-tune control. And we can go ahead and speed up a little bit. So we can eventually hit it. Let's arm the claw. Oh, wrong button. Slow down. It doesn't look like we're gonna grab onto it in the best spot, but hope it grabs. Yeah, this thing's huge, as always. Contact. Oops. That did not look right. Looks like we bounced off. Can we grapple? Grapple. It's not taking it. Alright. Back out. Let's come at it at a different angle. This does not look much better, to be honest. Looks like my grapple into the middle of this crater. I don't know, could you call that a crater? Are there craters on asteroids? Nope, it's not taking us. Let's try to force it. There we go. Kind of right in that little bump. Let's see what the mass is. 596 tons. That's insane. I have to think of a name for this one. I haven't really thought about it, but I'll name it in the next episode. Oh my gosh. Well, that concludes episode 7 of Kerbal Space Program 1.0.5 Asteroid Redirect Mission. This is we have rendezvoused and captured, or rendezvoused and grappled to our first Class D asteroid, VHK-124. So I will thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.